Related story: there are two crucial moments in Trump's impeachment trial. The final vote isn't one of them. Related story: did the Democrats just expose Joe Biden to a Republican witch hunt? After a long 3 days, Democrats wrapped up their opening arguments in the impeachment trial of President Donald Trump. But with the outcome of the trial viewed as a foregone conclusion, much of the excitement in the case happened outside the Senate chamber. Here are the key takeaways. Democrats finished as they started, with a methodical, step-by-step examination of the facts as they see them. Mr. Trump is yet to make good on his wish to sit in the front row of the trial, but he still featured in today's proceedings as Democrats played footage of his attacks on several witnesses. This is a determination by President Trump that he wants to be all-powerful. He does not have to respect the Congress. He does not have to respect the representatives of the people. Only his will goes. He is a dictator, Democratic Representative Gerald Nadler said. It was up to lead House impeachment manager Adam Schiff to wrap up 3 days that examined the case Democrats have built against Mr. Trump on the charges of abuse of power and obstruction of Congress, with public revelation of his actions. President Trump ultimately released the military and security assistance to the government of Ukraine, but has persisted in openly and corruptly urging and soliciting Ukraine to undertake investigations for his personal political benefit. That has been proved, Mr. Schiff said. In all of this, President Trump abused the powers of the presidency by ignoring and enduring national security and other vital national interests to obtain an improper personal political benefit that has been proved, echoing Democrats' frustrations about being denied the chance to hear from new witnesses, and perhaps foreshadowing one final showdown on the issue to come. Mr. Schiff closed the Democrats' argument with, "Americans get a fair trial. And so I ask you, I implore you, give America a fair trial. Give America a fair trial. She's worth it." The defense plans to mix it up from tomorrow. Mr. Trump's defense will get their chance to respond to the case made by Democrats. But unlike the Democrats, the president's legal team signaled they only plan to use a few hours of their allotted time on Saturday, local time, I guess. "We would call it a trailer, and a coming attraction would be the best way to say it," Mr. Trump's personal lawyer Jay Sekulow said. It might seem like an odd strategy, until you look at Mr. Trump's Twitter feed. External link, @RealDonaldTrump, after having been treated unbelievably unfairly in the House, and then having to endure our hour of lies, fraud. It's no secret that Mr. Trump often measures success by how well something plays on television. He reportedly picked his defense team by how well they would perform on the small screen. By keeping things brief on Saturday, Death Valley, according to Mr. Trump, it looks like his legal team will reserve their best arguments until Monday, when Americans are more likely to be tuning in. The witness question isn't going away from the very loosely enforced silence of the U.S. Senate chamber. The politicians who will be responsible for deciding whether to remove Mr. Trump from office have found their voice by checking in with the gaggle of journalists waiting just outside the doors. A big chunk of Republican senators have offered similar judgments on what they'd been hearing, including Senator John Barrasso. "We've just come out listening to, 6 hours of testimony, and I didn't hear anything new," he said on Wednesday. A day earlier, Mr. Barrasso and Republicans had voted against a Democratic request to allow new evidence and witnesses to be admitted as part of the trial. As the impeachment hearings happened today, ABC News America published a 2018 recording which allegedly shows Mr. Trump demanding the removal of former U.S. Ambassador to Ukraine Marie Yovanovitch. But when he was asked whether the Senate should consider the new recording as part of the trial, Mr. Barrasso wasn't impressed. "There will be new evidence every day. There will be something new that comes out every day," he said. A new poll from the Associated Press Nork Center for Public Affairs Research found that about 7 in 10 respondents, including majorities of Republicans and Democrats, want Mr. Trump to allow top aides to appear as witnesses. There is likely to be another push from Democrats on witnesses before the trial is over. Everyone will be watching to see the opening arguments have swayed the votes of any Republican senators. Trump keeps on trumping. This impeachment trial is historic. It's only the third time in history the U.S. Senate has considered the heavy question of whether a president should be removed from office. But from the outside at least, it looked like any other Friday for Mr. Trump. He tweeted the new logo for the Space Force. The president has been plenty busy since the trial began. He was in Davos at the World Economic Forum when it began, and today, he attended a rally of anti-abortion activists in Washington, D.C., on Tuesday, local time, when it's expected his defense team will be finalizing their opening arguments. He'll be at a campaign rally in New Jersey. It's as good a sign as any of how the president expects this trial to end, in a comfortable acquittal. ABC, AP. Let's block ads. Why?